Welcome to Wednesday, the 25th of September. I'm Barry Fair. Thanks for joining me here in the studio with my outsider Kip this evening. And just before we get on to tonight's show, recapping last week's show, Daylight Saving, and that is coming up very shortly as I speak. The days are getting longer and the nights are getting shorter, and we look forward to daylight saving and summer days and fish and chips down at the beach, which we talked about also. Now, on with tonight's show. To open tonight's show, I'd like to open our show with safe workplaces. Now, sadly, a man was killed when an horrific accident happened, and here's my outsider to tell you about that. Good evening to you and welcome.
Thank you, very few, for always welcoming me back into your studio, very few, and appreciate it, mate. Yeah, we're going to talk about, like Barry's already mentioned before, daylight saving and all the stuff. Yeah, it's sad news to see what happened in the horrific accident happened in the war about a container falling to one man and die, and I feel so sad, but Um, just a message for you guys out there to be careful.
And always have protective work gear like your boots, your hard hats, and an appropriate wear for work. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, you gotta wear a safety and great PPE for work. That's where you allowed to work at work. You gotta have an appropriate PPE.
Because you only have the one life on the work site, guys. Because if something falls on top of you, you are dead.
You know that.
And the doorknob.
Yeah.
And lots of distraught workmates of that person that was killed today by that container. Shocking. Here's my offside.
Yep, it's Barry's right. That's when you go to a workplace like that, you gotta take extra care, not for yourself, but other people as well, because very, very high risk, dangerous in that area of work. You gotta be look up to yourself, and you gotta be careful when you work.
Because your family are waiting at home for you. Here's my offside for this important bit of news right now.
Yeah, guys, you gotta remember you have a family or you have parents, and you go to work, and they are waiting for you to come home. You don't want to see your parents come home. They come and see the bad news coming on TV, or the police coming and knocking on your door about your son, or about your daughter, or about your father or your mom. Please be careful as well.
Because I know I know we hear about a lot of workplace accidents. So guys, if you are working on construction sites, please look after yourselves, look after your workmates, wear the appropriate gear, and these accidents won't happen. Make sure you've got whatever you are moving on the forklift properly. Because if something goes wrong, that's it. Here's my offside.
Yeah, that is true. Whatever you workplace you are working at now, or construction, or concreter, or work in the metal or foundry, or whatever you work on, please, you gotta be careful. Take extra care when the work is dangerous.
Now, last night on the news also, idiots riding on the top of trains. We mentioned this on a video a couple of months back. Please, commuters out there, don't be an idiot and ride on the top of a moving train because you could go splat. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, my boy. How stupid is that? How stupid you look? Do you think it's you looking good, or you think that you look tough to be up there on the top of the train?
So no surfing on top of moving trains. Please, guys, use your common sense. It's like what we just said in the workplace segment. You don't want the police knocking on the door and saying that your son or daughter or your niece or nephew was dead. Use your brains, guys. If you're out in the community, please, we cannot say this enough on the show. Here's my outsider.
We say this time and time again about safety, about your life. You only have one life, Mike, to spare. And please stop the nonsense and stop the stupid stuff and go and do something better than that. Go and find a job.
And go and do something productive with your life.
That's
Like
right.
go out to dinner with your mates, or lunch, or breakfast, or invite them to a barbecue. But please, guys, we don't want to have to tell you how to run your life, but for goodness sake, the message that we would like to give to you on this show tonight, please use your common sense. Safety does come first. It doesn't come last. You only have the one life. Here's my offside.
Yeah, that's right. If you use your brain, your life will be longer. If you don't use your brain and you use something else, you will be bloody die sometimes.
Mate, you will go splat.
Flash. We don't.
And you will end up in one big mess. We can tell you that. So before you jump onto the tracks or attempt to do something stupid, it is your life that you are risking. Here's my offside.
Yeah, that's right, man. You gotta be do something better with your life, and then help someone rather than you go and try to waste your life in something not what acceptable.
And you have to remember guys that Christmas is coming up too. So, and your family are waiting at home for you. So please, guys, the other message, please don't waste the rest of 2019 by doing something that is stupid, like taking drugs illegally, drinking alcohol, and then getting into a fight because if you want to see in 2020, guys, we'd like to say this well and clear. Please, be a responsible adult. Don't do something stupid like use our roads as raceways, because they are not raceways. And another thing, don't misbehave on public transport, or otherwise you will be evicted.
Yeah.
Here's my outsider.
Yeah, I agree with Barry. Just use your life for something better, and then do something better to help others rather than go and try to waste your life.
Well, now I'd like to talk about tonight's dinner on the show is shepherd's pie. Who loves a shepherd's pie for dinner? Here's my outsider to tell you about this.
Who go wrong with that? It's it's this time of the weather. We love to have some pie. Have some nice mint, mashed potato on top.
And
Tell you
then
what.
you can't go wrong with it because it's minced vegetables, mashed potato, and a bit of grated cheese on the top, baked or grilled, whichever way you want it, guys. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. You gotta eat a lot of vegetable. You gotta eat great meat and the mashed potato on top of the cheese. Tell you what, heaven, beautiful.
And look up a recipe as well for shepherd's pie. And maybe you and your family would love a shepherd's pie for dinner tomorrow night or on the weekend for lunch. So hop to it, guys. Get some good quality mince, and you will be making shepherd's pie in no time at all.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to our opening story tonight, guys, please take care in the workplace because when you work in an industrial area, please once again have the appropriate footwear and clothing and your hard hat. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, very explain it to you guys. You gotta wear safety PPE for work. Keep you safe and keep your life. That's the most important thing in life.
Because you only have one life in the workplace, and you don't want your work colleagues coming to see you in a hospital ward. Here's my outsider.
Yeah. So need a place that you don't wanna end up a hospital. Please, just work safety first.
And it's like when the staff work here, they have to wear appropriate footwear and clothing. Here's my outsider.
That's right.
Because if the staff get run over, they will know about it. Here's my outsider.
That's why we get told to wear a proper shoe to work, because a wheelchair, electric wheelchair, is that run on the top of your foot. I tell you, you'll be screaming. Your wife or your husband, they can hear you screaming from here, your voice, and we don't want to see that.
Our closing message tonight on the show, please show respect for the ones that you are that you are around. Don't think about yourselves, think about each other and listen to each other's opinion. Here's my outsider for his closing message.
Yep. That's a great message for you guys tonight, and hopefully you guys listen to what we talking about safety at work or wherever you go, and that's what we try to get the message across to you guys about safety.
Because respecting each other, listening to each other's concerns and opinions is a must and working as a team. And here's my outsider to tell you about that before we head into the conclusion of tonight's show.
Yeah, it's very important to respect each other at workplace because you work as a team. You have to respect each other. Look out for each other, care for each other, and that's why the work is going to be moving forward. If you work together and respect each other.
Because respect, guys, it doesn't come on a plate. And don't think the world revolves around you because it doesn't. And if things aren't bothering you at work, have a talk to your site manager. And here's my outsider to tell you about it right now.
Yeah, that's a key word to work. Is work together and respect each other. And especially when we have our manager and everybody around, and yes, you have to respect the manager, very important, and respect your client as well.
And just before we head into the closing sequence, daylight saving is coming up very shortly. So don't forget to put your clock forward 1 hour before you go to bed on Saturday, the 5th of October, because daylight saving starts on the 6th of October at 2 a.m. So 2 a.m. will become 3 a.m. To conclude tonight's show, the number that we talk about on a regular basis, or not all the time, but with the bushfire season well up on us now, please do not call 000 unless you have an emergency. We say this on a regular basis here on our show. Here's my outsider to take us out with that message.
Yeah, it's that's like Barry mentioned that about triple zero. That's we always mention and we always talking about triple zero every time we have a media because it's very important to listen.
Because if you make a prank triple O call and you take away the service that someone needs, you are risking their lives and putting the paramedics and the police and the fire brigade at risk. So the message that we'd like to close the show with tonight, please leave 000 alone. It's not a chit chat line. And don't hang up halfway through a 000 call because the 000 call taken to try to get you the help that you need. Here's my outsider for his second closing message before we say goodnight to you.
Yeah, you know, Harry already covered everything that we talked about 000, and then you look, just don't call their number. You just call that number when you have an emergency. Someone about to die or someone in dangerous, please call that 000.
But not the trivial issues, guys. We talk to you about it time and time again, so please leave 000 alone. I know this is a boring subject, but if we don't get the message out to you, some idiot is going to ring that number and say that they've broken a fingernail or they need a PowerPoint fixed. Come on, guys. Use your common sense. There are other numbers you can call for assistance. Like if you need a plumber, dial a plumber. If you need an electrician, dial for an electrician. If you need a pizza, dial for a pizza. If you need a taxi, dial for a taxi. Not 000. Please, really do think about 000 and really do think is your urgency and emergency. Well, we've come to the conclusion of the show now, and thanks very much for your company here on this Wednesday, the 25th of October of September. I nearly said October then, luckily I didn't say that. Next week on the show, we'll be talking about sun safety and beach safety and what sun cream to use and when you should put it on and when to put our clocks forward. But that's all we've got time for on this Wednesday, the 25th of September. Thanks for your company here tonight on the show. And here's my outsider to say good night to you right now.
Good night, everybody. And thank you for listening to us. And thank you for being part of our video tonight. And hopefully that our message come across. Like Barry said, our daylight saving is coming up very, very soon. And, safety at work is don't do some things too bad, like going and driving, going to ride on the top of the train and so forth. And please just be careful. It's going to the long weekend coming up, and be careful
and double the amount of points too.
Yep,
But they are coming up, so if you or your passengers are caught not wearing your seatbelt or using your mobile phone, that's it. That is your license. Bye bye.
Bye bye. For 3 months.
And if you speed on the road, you know what will happen. Bang! Bang!
Flip.
Crunch. And like we say, you don't want the police knocking on the door and saying, sorry, your son or daughter is dead. And we'll be talking about double demerit points too on next week's show. So we do look forward to your company then. But right now, that's it. Thanks for your company on the show this evening. And here's my outsider to say his final good night.
All right, everybody. Good night, and thank you for listening to us. And hopefully, we'll talk to you guys very soon. And yes, have a good night.
And enjoy your Shepards Bye if you do get around to making it, and thanks for your company on this Wednesday night. And as the saying goes, keep reaching for the stars, and we'll see you next Wednesday on the show, the 2nd of October. We do look forward to your company then. But that's all from myself and Kit. And thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again the same time next Wednesday evening from 7 o'clock. I'm Barry Fair. This has been a production of Barry Fair, and this program is recorded here every Wednesday night here at Oceana, and is produced and narrated by Barry Fair. Good night, everybody. Have a good sleep, and we'll see you sometime over the weekend. And enjoy your Thursday, and have a good rest of the week. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.